PianoLessons.com, the #1 name in piano lessons online.
Hi, I'm Nate Bosch with PianoLessons.com, and today we're going to learn how to play Happy Birthday. Now, it's a familiar song to very many people, and the reason we want to learn how to play it is an exercise in developing your ear. It's a basic song. You can probably think of 100 songs you'd rather learn how to play that are cooler, but this will help develop the ear. So, let's just pick a note to start on. Let's start on the D. Now if we sing in our head, happy birthday to you, here's where we want to learn and talk about intervals, the steps between the notes. So happy birthday. So there we have it, just goes up a bit. To you. Now let's look at the notes we've just played. We've played a D, an E, a G, and an F sharp. So we want to try and find out where our root is. The root of, so we can start to build chords, we can start to understand where this melody might go. We don't quite know yet, so we have happy birthday to you. Now then we get happy birthday to you. So same basic line, just up a little bit. Now, if you listen to it, happy birthday to you, that note, you, tells you kind of want to keep going. It doesn't really resolve, right? So, and then happy birthday to you. Well, there you kind of feel, okay, there's a resolution. Well, what note is that we've resolved to? That is the note G. Well, let's play the G major scale. G, A, B, C, D, E. We have an F sharp in there, G. So it looks like we are playing Happy Birthday in the key of G, even though we've started on the 5th note in the scale. But our ears, we want to listen to how it resolves. So happy birthday to you. Ear is telling you we want to keep going here. Happy birthday to you. You know the song goes on, but if you stop and think about it, you could hear how that happy birthday to you, kind of the end of a song. So that's how we sort of pick out what our root is, and we can then know the notes of the scale that we're working with. Now let's go on to the rest of the songs. Happy birthday, dear, whoever you are. So there's our 4th phrase in the song. So we've got happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Nate. Just sing it to me. Now we skip up a pretty big interval. And we resolve to the G. So let's play it from the beginning. First phrase. Now we jump an octave. We'll play the G chord there. Now we jump up to the C. Happy birthday to, and we end it there. Now, we know all the notes in the scale that we're playing. We've arranged them, so now we're playing Happy Birthday. So now we want to play the chords associated with those notes. Normally, in a song, you're going to start in a typical song like this. You'll start with the root. It's a safe place to try and start to see if it sounds right. So we'll jump up an octave here. Happy birthday to you. There's our first line. Let's just start with the root and play a G chord. Well, the melody line is telling me that we want to change the chords there. So, we'll start with the root. Well, I've played a D chord there. It sounds pretty good. Let's try a B minor. It's got an F sharp in it. See, that's our note in the melody. So, well, that technically works, but that doesn't sound right. See how your ear is starting to capture? Oh, okay, so I don't want to play that chord. I want to play, what's another chord in the scale, based on the scale of G, that has an F sharp in it? Well, there is the D chord. Let's try that. That works. We'll just keep that there. Well, there's a G. We're back to the root. Safe chord to go to would be, again, the root. Now, it's sort of a giveaway. Since the melody is playing the G chord, we'll keep that. But we move to an F sharp there. And our ear was already, we tried the B minor chord, but the ear kind of told us, well, no, we want that D chord, which is that 5 chord. But that note is a passing note. It passes through. We end the phrase on the E. Well, okay, so we had, that was easy. But when I played the, see, the 5 chord didn't really work there. But we ended on the E. Let's try the 4 chord, the C chord. So, that F sharp's a little outside, but it ends, the phrase ends on that E. And we play a C to keep going in the melody, so we're still going to play that C chord. So the B and the G are part of the G chord, so we play the G chord. And that D chord, as we found out so far in this song, it's the chord that kind of brings us back to the root. And we're back to the end. So we've got the root to the 5 chord, the D. We hold that back to the 1 chord again. Now our phrase doesn't end on the F sharp, it ends on the E, so we move to the C chord. And then we go up to the, there's the root, the 5, and there you have it. Now that's not the only chords you can play in that song. That's the same. So far we're still staying with the same. Now instead of playing just the C here, I can play an A minor. So I went to the A minor, then to the D, then to the G. Just changing it up a little bit. But as you can see, we're basing all of it around identifying the key that we were playing in by that scale, and then building chords around the phrasing of each of those different lines. So there you have it, and that's why we're learning how to play Happy Birthday. It's not really to learn how to play Happy Birthday, although it does come in handy at your next birthday party. You can sit down and you can play it. But hopefully you get a little bit of an understanding of where your ear is leading you as you're building chords to go along with those melodies and actually finding out where the melody goes. There you have it. Happy birthday.